Bienvenue à Repousser les limites. Mon nom est Jeff Dussault. Ça me fait tellement plaisir de vous accueillir sur ce nouvel épisode. Je vous souhaite une bonne écoute. Bienvenue à Repousser les limites. Cette semaine, je suis en compagnie d'un athlète élite qui performe dans les courses d'obstacles, dans les courses d'endurance en sentier, dans les courses de mountain biking. Ça va être un épisode en anglais parce que mon invité, c'est un anglophone. Donc, welcome on the podcast, Ryan Atkins, and thanks a lot for accepting the invitation.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Oui, merci beaucoup. Si vous voulez en parler en français un petit peu, ça marche aussi avec moi, mais si c'est mieux en anglais pour moi, c'est vraiment à vous.
Okay. That's good. I didn't know you talk good French. That's nice. Okay.
Oh, thanks.
So how did the sport arrive in your life?
Sport?
Yeah.
I think I've always kind of been an athlete or like wanting to be an athlete ever since I was young and always doing some kind of sport. But then when I was, I think 12 years old, I went to a mountain biking camp in Gatineau.
Okay.
And that was kind of my first introduction to like individual endurance sport. And I really loved it and kind of fell in love with it. And from there, it's just been something that I've always pursued and really enjoyed doing.
Okay, perfect. So is there a sport you was first appear and you fall in love, like mountain biking? You say what's one of your
Yeah, probably mountain biking or actually used to do a lot of unicycling. So I did trials unicycling and mountain unicycling, and I was
Okay.
world champion in those disciplines. And I really, when I was maybe about 14 until I was about 19 or so, I did just tons of that. And that was kind of like, I guess, the sport that I fell in love with the most.
Okay. So and then the OCR arrive obstacle course race.
Yeah, well, after I unicycled, I mountain bike raced for a few years, and I raced, yeah, kind of all over North America, and did some World Cup races and things like that, and raced elite, and then I did that for several years while going to university, and then I started running, doing a few ultra runs and things like that, mostly like 50 milers and things like that. And then kind of a friend of mine told me about this thing called obstacle racing, and he thought that I'd be really good at it. So I gave it a try, and then I won my first race, and then I won more races, and then I found that it really suited my strengths really well because I was good at endurance, but also strong, and I guess a little hard-headed. Like I just wouldn't give up.
Okay, nice. So the first race you won, I saw it was Bear Mountain, and
Yeah,
lot of time.
yeah. I won Bear Mountain 50 miler. Yeah, I did that race once, and then I think I finished maybe top 20, and then I came back. I think it was the next year and won it. It was next year, maybe 2 years later, and so that was pretty cool. That was a really great race, and I'm really sad that it doesn't happen anymore because it was just like, yeah, it was really awesome.
Yeah, it was an amazing reunion of athlete, a little south for us just before to prepare the real season.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
yes, I run it the last year in 2019 too. So
Nice. Yeah, I was really sad when they stopped running those races. I actually, they did a race in Ontario in Blue Mountain, the North
oh
Face Endurance, and
yeah.
I won that one year, and then I came back the next year and I was like the race director for that race. So I like
Okay.
set the whole course and like helped organize it. So that was a lot of fun too.
Okay, nice. So What the accomplishment you are most proud at the moment?
Oh man. I don't
Terrible
know.
question, eh?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like, because some accomplishments, I guess, are harder than others, or some accomplishment like you have to work more towards, even if they're like less prestigious or more prestigious. Um, I don't know. one of I think winning Spartan World Championships in 2021, I think, was probably one of the accomplishments I was most proud of, because I finished second at that race, um, like 5 or 6 times, and then I finally won it, and so I guess it meant a lot to me, even though it was just another race, but it was like something I had been trying to do for a long time, so that was pretty special.
And you win with your girlfriend too at
Yeah,
the same
yeah,
time.
exactly. Yeah, we got to share the top step of the podium together. So that was
Nice,
pretty cool.
nice. Yeah. So, so how is your training? Do you train with her sometimes, or you're more individual?
Yeah, it's a bit of both. When the training kind of works for both of us, then we'll train together. Or like yesterday, we both did a run together, but we did the warm up and the cool down together. But then for like the intensity part, we did that separately. Even though
Okay.
we were on the same hill, so we were kind of like going back and forth. It's a good way to do it, because like we run at different paces and things like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
a lot of days when we're doing endurance, like I'll do endurance and she'll maybe do tempo, or if we're skiing together, then like I can like set the skin track or something, so we're kind of like getting the same workout maybe. So there's a lot of different ways to do it, but yeah, sometimes it just doesn't work out at all and we just train on our own.
Okay, super. So I saw you coach some people too.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we've got a program called Knox, which is No Excuses Coaching, and I run that with a friend of mine who does mental coaching. So I do like the physical side of it, and he does the mental side of it, and mostly catered towards obstacle racing athletes. But we have some
Okay.
people on there who are just just runners or multi-sport athletes. We have a guy who does like adventure racing and things like that. So yeah, lots of different people on there. I guess the main philosophy is to try to have the athletes learn, like why they're doing what they're doing,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that they can be, uh, so that there's always like a reason behind every workout, and
Mhm.
also, yeah, just develop like a really good general sense of fitness. So that then, if you want to go do a mountain bike race or your obstacle race, or you want to run a 50 miler, you can just kind of pivot that fitness and then go do what you want to do. So yeah, it's going really well.
Okay. How did this project start?
um, I think we just were talking about, yeah, so his name is Graham, the guy I do it with, and he is the mental coach for Lindsay and myself. And
Okay.
we were just talking about kind of like uh something or other, and we said it would be fun to like coach other people as well. Um, and so we started a program.
Okay. Super. So, do you have a coach for yourself?
No, I do all my own coaching for myself. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, yeah. Which is, it's good. And like, I think it's a double-edged sword, because it's good to have that autonomy and that freedom, and also the feedback with yourself of always kind of listening to your body. But then sometimes it's hard with the motivation, or with not having someone to like bounce ideas off of. So I definitely rely on my wife a lot for that, and she relies on me, where like we can ask each other like, oh, what do you think about this, or how do you think I should like structure this workout or this training block, or things like that. So um, I think it's really useful having someone like in your corner to work with, even if it's not necessarily a coach. It could be like a
Yeah.
mentor, I guess. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, of course. Or sometimes you run with Elliot. It's good to
Yeah,
have a partner run.
totally. We can talk about training and what he's doing and what I'm doing and things like that.
Exchange some ID. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So what looks like a normal day in your life?
Um, yeah, so like right now we're living out in Alberta, so we're doing lots of skiing. So like, yeah, mostly today, like I wake up, I eat breakfast, and then I usually go and train. So like today we did like about a 3 hour ski tour, and then come back and eat and rest for a bit, and then I worked through some like emails. I wrote some training plans and things like
Okay.
that. And then I did a strength workout at about 4 o'clock. So yeah, did that for like an hour, and that was like grip strength, core, and mobility. So I usually try to do something like that. I usually do grip strength training maybe every other day,
Okay.
and same with core, and I try to do mobility every single day. Um, just like light stretching and like movement in general to try to keep yourself from getting injured, I guess.
Okay.
And then I clean the house. And then yeah, now I'm talking with you. So yeah, it's pretty like low key day, but I guess that's like a fairly typical day. I usually train about, yeah, 2 to 5 hours per day, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. So do your strength training alternate in the year when you have specific event or?
A little bit, but it's more like my strength training. I guess my philosophy with strength training is using it more as a tool for injury prevention. So a lot
Yeah,
of my
yeah, yeah.
strength isn't like high weight things. It's more just kind of going through the movements and things like that, and a lot of body weight stuff. And then um, I'll kind of, and then the other thing is like maintaining. I have like a lot of like exercises that I like want to be able to do, but if I can do them, I don't need to be any stronger than that for like what I need to do. So like for instance, like a front lever or a one arm pull up or like being able to plank for like 3 or 4 minutes. Like if I can do that, then I'm like I'm good. So I don't need to like train it a lot. I just have to do maintenance. So a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
my
yeah.
strength is like I've already built the strength, so I just am maintaining. So unless I have like a goal, like some obstacle races are really strength dependent, so then I'll train specifically for them.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but for the most part, it's a lot of just maintenance work. Yeah.
Okay. And for trail running races, do you adapt your training too for the strength, or it's more your run routine that will change?
Yeah, more the run routine. A lot of this, I would like, I guess, do less upper body strength if I was like just focusing on trail. But I still
Okay.
think that it's important, and I still think that it's something that you know, I like to keep up because I like climbing and I like ice climbing and I like doing things with my upper body as well. And so if I completely neglect that, then it's not so much like it's more like I would be likely to get injured. Um, so yeah.
Okay. So I saw you did a lot of sky races or uphill event.
Yeah, yeah, do some of those. Yeah, so Lindsay does a ton of those, and I've done several, but I'm hoping to do more this year. So I'll do some more of the events in Europe, um, and stuff like
Okay.
that. And then there's a race out here out west called Meet the Minotaur in Alberta, which I did last year too, and that was like probably one of my favorite races all year. So I'll do that one again. Yeah, tons of fun races.
Okay. Nice. So what your key pro tips to be better on uphills?
Well, so to be fast at running uphill, it's actually kind of interesting because like a lot of the fastest runners on flat ground are actually end up being the fastest uphill, up to like a certain degree. Like if you're
Yeah.
beyond 30% or so, then the muscles kind of change a bit and it's more like power hiking. It's more kind of hamstring dependent. But up to that kind of 30% grade, it's a lot of the same training as just you would to be fast at running on the flats. mixed in with doing like specific workouts at those grades. But like a lot of people focus too much on just like trying to get tons of volume in running uphill and running
Mm-hmm.
steep grades. And like you do need to do some of it, but I don't think you need to do as much as a lot of people think you do. And so then it's just a matter of like making yourself a faster runner. And that's always the hard question. It's like everyone wants to know, how do I become faster? But a lot of it is just like run more. Yeah,
Interval, speed work.
intervals,
Yeah.
exactly, all of the above. And it's like, do as much as you can without getting injured over time. And then
Yeah,
that's
to
kind of
respect
like,
the progression.
yeah, respect the consistency and the progression. And there's no real like secret to getting faster. It's just putting in the work and not getting injured, I guess. And that like is definitely true for getting fast uphill or um, in the mountains.
Okay. I saw nutrition is important for you. So,
Yeah.
what looks like a week before a race event for you? Do you change? Do you adapt yourself?
So my nutrition, I eat like a lot of normal foods. Like I don't have any dietary restrictions.
Okay.
Um, so I just try to get in a lot of good normal food. I don't change it too much during the lead up to a race, but usually like maybe 2 or 3 days before a race, uh, I'll stop eating things that are like harder to digest, or I'll like
Okay.
cut out as much. I eat a lot of salads and a lot of vegetables and fruit and things like that. So I'll decrease that amount as I get closer to the race. And then the day before the race, I don't eat much of that at all. So like the day before a race, I probably wouldn't have a salad for dinner. I wouldn't have, anything that's like anything like broccoli or anything that's really hard to digest. I would just kind of like not eat that. But that's really the only change that I make, other than like, yeah, making sure you get in enough calories and that you're like well fueled before the event.
Yes, a little carb load.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't do a full on carb load, but I don't skimp on like calories either. I find if you eat just a ton of, spaghetti the day before, sometimes um, it can upset your stomach. So trying to like change too much from your regular routine is probably not a good
Mhm.
idea.
Okay. So, for your OCR race and trail running, did the nutrition
Yeah.
is similar?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's the same.
Okay. Okay.
Um, it's more just like the length of race will kind of dictate what you eat. But a lot of my races are longer, 2 to 2+ hours. And as long as you're racing over an hour and a half, it's all kind of the same, because you need to have like good glycogen stores coming into the race, and then you need to be able to digest food as you're running and racing. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a proper routine for your race nutrition, or depends the event, depends if it's hot or
Yeah. So I really like liquid calories, and that's something that I've kind of like found with cycling. So for a lot of my longer stuff or stuff where I'm trying to take in as much calories as possible, I'll like use Scratch Labs,
oh
which
yes,
I
very
really
good
like.
product. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I use their super fuel, and that way I can get 300 to 400 calories per bottle. Um, and then I just kind of add in a little bit of like real food every now and again, just more for like flavor and like palate fatigue. So I don't get
Yeah.
bored of like eating the same thing. But
Yeah.
like for Bandera, those bags of super fuel, like the
Yeah.
big black bags, I drank an entire thing in the race. So I was like pretty surprised. I was like, "Oh, geez, that's a lot of sugar." But I guess you're working hard and you're burning it. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you go through it.
So, you talk about Bandera. That's your last event you do?
I did a skimo race like a month ago, but that was yeah, I guess Bandera was like the last bigger event that I did. Yeah.
Okay. So, how does it goes the race? So
Yeah, it was good. I felt really good at the start. I was actually leading about 10 or so kilometers into the race, and then I sprained my ankle
oh
um
yes,
just
I
after
read it.
that. Yeah, that wasn't great. So I it actually, when you sprain your ankle and like sometimes you're like, oh, this isn't so bad, like, you just keep going. It
Yeah.
wasn't that. It was like pretty painful. So I kind
Oh.
of like I was like limping a little bit, and I couldn't push down with my toes. Like
Oof.
I couldn't flex like dorsiflex my foot at all. So I was kind of like running like a flat, like my one foot was normal and my other foot was kind of like flat.
Oof.
So it was really hard to run. Um, and so that whole, because you do 2 laps of 50K. And so for that whole, I guess it happened about uh, 15 or so kilometers into the race. So
Oh.
for that whole first lap, I was just like, this sucks. Like my ankle really hurts. Like it was just really painful. Um, but then I was like, okay, I'll make it to the next aid station, and then I'll make it to the next aid station, and then I started like, I guess the reason why I wanted to do that ultra was just to like see if I still wanted to like race ultra marathons, and if it was still like something that excited me, and that I wanted to like kind of like go there mentally. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I was like, well, this is perfect. This is like a great kind of experiment, because now I have this other thing that's like really painful, and I have to see if I actually like want to drop out or keep running. And then yeah, so I just kept running, and the second lap actually went a lot better. Like after a while, the pain started going, not going away, but it was just like manageable. And then yeah, so then I think I would like drop to like, after the ankle roll, I think I dropped to like 15th or something, and then I ran back to 5th place in the end. So I passed a lot more people.
Yeah. Yeah, congrats for that race. That's
Yeah, yeah,
amazing the what good mindset can do.
yeah. It was fun. So it would have been cool to see like if I had a race where I didn't
Yeah.
have that, but I mean that's for another time. So yeah, it was great.
So how was your experience? Do you enjoy a lot trail running like in the past? Do you want to do
Yeah,
more?
yeah. I want to do more. I want to do more, and just like more of everything, more variety, more, I guess, more events that challenge me and that like push me outside of my comfort zone, and things like that. So, and like
Okay.
more FKTs and more stuff in the mountains and more adventures. So yeah, more of everything.
It was your first 100 kilometer or not?
Yeah, I think it was my first. I think so. Yeah, I've done obstacle races that have been lap format where I've done, over 100 miles before. But I think this was
Okay.
my only 100K, like where I've done only running, no obstacles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So did you have interest to do 100 miler race and trail running event?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the next step. Why not?
Okay. Do you have a goal you want to focus in, or depends what will brings you?
Yeah, I think it'll depend kind of what I'm excited for, and finding the right event that like kind of speaks to me.
Okay. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, there's so many options and so many cool events, but a lot of them are hard to get into, so it's yeah.
Yeah. So do you want to go back to Bandera to take your revenge for gold ticket or
um yeah, I think going back to Bandera could be cool. I think the course is like deceptively hard. Um just because it's like you're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. It feels like you're moving really slowly because it's like really open, and the footing
okay?
is like the footing is pretty good, but then it's like not good, and then it's really hard to get into a rhythm because it's like it's flat, and then it's hilly, and then it's flat, and then it's a bit of everything. So I think it's one of those courses that is harder. Like on paper it looks easy, but then when you do it, it's like a bit harder than what you think it would be.
Yeah. So do you think it's harder to prepare for an event of trail running without knowing the course compared to OCR?
Um, I think it's useful to have knowledge about the course no matter what you're doing. I think
Yeah.
especially like if you've been there before, you can like talk to people or you can like watch videos sometimes and see what the course sort of looks like. But until you like get to it and like run on the terrain, or if you even better like get to do the event, it's a huge advantage because you just know how everything works. You know how everything's gonna feel. You know like what your shoe choice should be, what your nutrition, what the aid stations are like, um, all those things. Yeah.
Okay. So do you prefer technical races or faster races?
I prefer, yeah, technical, hilly, um, yeah, mountains.
Okay.
That's
So
my
you
jam.
so you have advantage on the hill, I guess.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Nice. I saw you do a mountain biking event. I think it's last year, Leadville.
Yeah, I did Leadville.
Okay.
That was
So
cool.
yeah, it's a lot of a good reputation event.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. So I did. It's kind of one of those events that I've always wanted to do because I've known about it for a long time, and it's like you
mhm.
said, it's got a really big reputation. So I figured, why not? And I did it. I think I finished 27th. And my time was like 6 hours and 52 minutes, which it was a really competitive year. Um,
Okay.
but like a lot of years, like that time would have been like top 10, top 5 kind of time. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, it was a crazy race. It's high, like you're at 10,000 plus feet the whole time, and so it's just a little different, especially when you're biking compared to running, because you can go so deep into the red zone and
Yeah.
you need to stay with the leaders. So I think I went a little too hard on the first two climbs trying to stay with like the lead pack, and then
Okay.
I blew up like really bad, and then like towards the end I came back to life and like had a really strong finish, but there was like a 2 hour period in the middle there that was pretty bad.
So, did you have time to adapt yourself when you arrived there?
I was out there for just over a week before the event, so I was definitely like acclimated, but I wouldn't say I was fully acclimated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you enjoy to do mountain biking event?
Yeah, totally. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I did mountain bike nationals too. I did which was in Hardwood Hills, so I won the master expert category for that last
Okay.
year, which is
Wow.
pretty cool. And
Okay.
did some other
Congrats.
biking events, some gravel races. Thanks. Yeah. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, a little bit of everything. I really enjoy biking and mountain biking, so I find it's a good complement to running.
Yeah. And so you live in Eastern Township, so there's a lot of nice gravel space,
Oh yeah,
mountain biking place too.
yeah. It's a gravel biking paradise there.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
So, do you do races and gravel bike too?
Yeah, I did Rooted Vermont last year, which is a gravel bike race in Vermont. I finished second at that. Um, and trying to think if I did Unbound the year before. That was cool. Yeah, I'd like to do more gravel races, but it's hard to like. There's so many things I want to do, so it's like sometimes you just have to focus on one thing.
Yes. Is there one discipline you want to focus more in the future?
I think this year it's gonna be running and ultra running and things like that. That and alpinism and climbing. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a specific goal for the year?
Um yeah, I would like to get the FKT on Nolan's 14 route. I don't know if you've heard of that route. It's in Colorado. You climb
Uh,
14 of the 14ers in a
oh,
row.
Oh, yeah.
It's like 100 and something miles long. It's really like gnarly. So I'd like to do that, and then
In solo?
yeah, yeah, solo. So I'd like to
Okay.
do that. I'd like to
Have you done those places before?
I've been there, yeah. I just
Okay,
haven't done
okay.
the route yet. Yeah. So that's like one of my big goals this year. And then I guess otherwise it's just like seeing what races I can do and qualify for, and kind of I'll make it up.
Okay, perfect. So you said you want to do a couple of sky races too, or
Yep.
climb?
Yep, totally.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
I'm my wife is doing a bunch of the European sky races, so I'll join her for some of those when I can, and then I'll do the one over here in Alberta, and I'll probably like mix that in with a few other fun races.
Okay, super. So what do you say to someone that listen us and want to start training for endurance event?
Um, I think first of all, I would like choose an event and sign up for it. And because that's really important. A lot of people are like, oh, I want to do this one day. And then they don't ever put anything on a calendar. And then they kind of, it just slips away. So I think
Yeah.
like, first of all, like sign up for an event. Um, Second of all, like make a plan for
Mm-hmm.
it that's like realistic and kind of like consistently builds towards that event.
Yeah.
And then I'd say like just become a student of the event, like or of the sport. So if it's like ultra running or something, listen to ultra running podcasts, talk to other ultra runners, just like learn as much as you can about it. Because I think it's really interesting. A lot of people like do these sports and they, spend so much time training for them, and then they like miss out on some little key detail that would be so easy to know. It's like, oh, if only you had had, you know, say gaiters for that course, then your feet wouldn't
Yeah.
have gotten filled with rocks, and you wouldn't have had gravel in your shoes, and you wouldn't have had blisters, and you wouldn't have to DNF. It's like something
Yeah.
like that, like so simple, but like if you don't talk to people, you don't learn the things, and you don't know the like technical side of things.
Yeah.
Then it can like derail months of training at your event. So I'd say that would be like kind of another tip, is just like, yeah, learn as much as you can about um, what you want to do, and then go do it. And I think that like after you do an event, then it's like, then you're in a really powerful place to like see how did I train, what was good, what wasn't good, how can I like pivot, maybe I should get a coach, maybe I should do something differently, maybe it went really well. So but I think just like doing that first event is like the big first step that people have to do.
Okay. So for your coaching company, what is the best place to contact you?
The website is knox.coach,
Okay.
or knox.coaching. Uh, yeah, yeah, knox.coach is the website, and if you go on that, you can sign up or message me or my friend Graham and find out more about it.
Okay. So do you have a different offer or you adapt to the people?
Yeah, we adapt to the people who are like doing it.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
So what's your goal? What's your next race you aim for at the moment?
Um, Probably I haven't signed up for it yet. I'm like literally probably gonna do that tomorrow, but I'm planning on doing the Canyons Endurance 100 miler, which
Oh,
is yeah,
first on John Myler?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that should be cool. And that's at the end of April, so coming up soon.
Okay. So your feet is good after Bandera?
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
recover well?
Everything's
Okay.
fine. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I usually recover pretty fast and stuff like that.
Okay. So, okay. So, did you prepare a lot of training for that?
um,
Specific blocks?
yep,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So, well, still doing it. So, yeah.
So, when is this race?
April 28th.
Okay. So that's
Yeah.
good. The podcast will be
Yeah.
before
There
the
you
event.
go.
So okay.
Exactly.
So at the moment you are in r- close to the peak training.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of building up towards that right now.
Okay.
Exactly.
So do you do a lot of interval speed works?
Um, yeah, I do, but none of my intervals are that fast when training for an ultra. A lot of it's more like tempo
Yeah,
or yeah, threshold kind of stuff where you're
yeah,
just
yeah,
like getting used to running at that race pace or a little faster,
yeah.
and like building resilience in the legs without like tiring yourself out too much.
Okay.
Hmm.
So do you do back-to-back long runs for on the weekend?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah,
Okay.
I like doing like 3 day blocks too, where I'll do um, like a long run and then like like a medium length easy run but hilly, and then like a fast run. So like 3 days of like where the middle day is a little easier, and then like a day off, or 2 days off where you're so it's like yeah, I think that's like a good way of doing it while kind of like keeping an eye on fatigue.
Okay, perfect. So did you incorporate other sport in your training? You say skimo?
Yeah, a lot of skiing. Yeah,
Okay.
I think skiing's good. It builds a lot of leg strength, and you can do tons of volume with it. So like I'll do 8 hour days all the time, on the skis. So it's like it's not the exact same as running, but it's like it's really good conditioning.
Yeah, you don't have the impact, but for build your strength for uphill is good.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, perfect. Do you have a specific objective for this race?
No.
Finishing it?
Finishing it, I feel good, feel completely empty at the end. I don't know. Yeah.
Perfect. So do you have a strategy for eating?
Yeah, I will. I mean, I'll probably use the super fuel again, and I'll probably eat around 350 calories per hour, and just keep that going along with like whatever tastes good at the aid stations. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think I'm gonna try to pace myself kind of like really well for this event, and yeah, just like be conservative.
Okay. So have you looked what other people are registered? If there's a lot of elite, or you just go with the flow on this?
Just go with the flow. I don't think it really matters who's else is registered. Like
Yeah.
it's just a race, so you got to
Yeah,
go
of
do
course, and you're
it.
doing it for you too.
Yeah,
So
yeah, totally. So we'll see how it goes.
okay. So have you trained people for 100 miler before?
I've trained people for like 24-hour race, 24-hour endurance,
Okay.
like running races and stuff, where they've like done close to 100 miles and stuff. So yeah, somewhat.
Okay. Okay, nice. So good luck for register for this race.
Thank you.
It takes a lot of courage to just sign in.
Yeah, it's true. I'll go do that right now.
Okay. So yes, I do have other question. I saw you are a sponsor from Athletic Brewing.
Hmm.
So you don't drink alcohol at all.
No, I do. I just maybe like once a month.
Okay.
Yeah, very rare, but I still enjoy beer, but athletic brewing is like a great alternative, and it's a lot like more healthy to
Yeah.
drink non-alcoholic beer. But like every now and again, if like I have an old friend who's like in town, from somewhere, then I'll still have a beer, special occasions.
Okay, nice.
I think it's fine to do that. It's like, um, yeah, and I don't find like the need to drink more often than that.
Okay. Is that a long time you are like this, or you?
Yeah, yeah, I've been doing that
Okay.
for a while. Yeah,
Okay. Do you think it helps you to be a better athlete?
I do. I think that it helps a lot with recovery. and with
Oh,
sleep.
yeah.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
that alcohol like doesn't help. I think it like hinders your recovery and it hinders like your quality of sleep.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So, do you have a special meal for recover for event?
I just have smoothies a lot. Pretty much after every hard workout or hard event. Um,
Yes.
like a good smoothie with like just a little bit of protein powder. Um, lots of good like some yogurt, some berries, coconut milk, all the good stuff in there. I find it's like the best.
Okay, perfect. So good luck for your for register for your race.
Thank you.
And thanks a lot for the interview and your time.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, thanks for having me on. It was great chatting with you.
Yes, thank you.
Perfect.